What if the restlessness you've been feeling isn't a problem to fix, but a signal you've been ignoring? Stay with me, because what Carl Jung discovered about human transformation will completely change how you understand the tension you're carrying right now. There's a moment, and maybe you've already felt it, when the life you built starts to feel too small. Not because anything went wrong, but because something inside you went right. Jung had a name for this, and once you understand it, you'll never see your discomfort the same way again. Here's what most people get completely backwards. They assume that feeling out of place in your own life means something is broken. They medicate it, distract from it, apologize for it. But Carl Jung discovered something that will stop you in your tracks. That feeling of not fitting anymore, it's not a breakdown, it's the first sign of a breakthrough. Jung called it the process of individuation, the gradual, sometimes violent, always necessary journey toward becoming who you were always meant to be. And here's the part that will change everything. This process doesn't announce itself gently. It arrives as irritation, as boredom, as a sudden inability to pretend that certain relationships, certain rooms, certain versions of yourself still feel true. Your energy, Jung discovered, doesn't stay still. It evolves. And when it does, everything built around your old frequency starts to vibrate differently. Pay close attention to what comes next, because this is where it gets profound. Carl Jung identified what he called the tension of opposites, the psychological pressure that builds when who you are becoming conflicts with who you've been performing. Most people experience this tension as anxiety, as guilt, as the paralyzing sense that you're betraying the people who knew your old self. But Jung understood something most therapists still miss today. That tension isn't a malfunction. It's an engine. The discomfort you feel when you walk into a room you used to love and feel nothing, that's data. The friendships that suddenly feel one-dimensional, the conversations that drain instead of fill, the ambitions that once electrified you and now sit cold on the shelf. Jung called these signals of the psyche attempting to reorganize itself around a deeper truth. And here's where it gets dangerous, not for you, but for the life you've been living on autopilot. According to Jung's theory of psychological development, there is a particular kind of crisis that visits people who are expanding faster than their environment can accommodate. He called it enantiodromia, the moment when suppressed growth turns into unstoppable force. When you've outgrown something so completely that staying becomes more painful than leaving. Most people misread this moment entirely. They blame the job, they blame the city, they blame the partner. But Jung discovered that the source of the rupture is internal, not external. You didn't outgrow them. You outgrew the version of yourself that needed them to stay the same. What happens next will redefine how you understand every uncomfortable feeling you've had in the last year. Jung discovered that the human psyche operates in cycles of death and rebirth, not metaphorically, psychologically. The persona, the carefully constructed mask we wear to belong, begins to crack when the self beneath it has outgrown its shape. And the cracking feels like loss, it feels like grief, it feels like standing in your own life and recognizing none of it. But here's what Jung understood that almost no one tells you. That grief is not evidence that something went wrong. It's evidence that something profound is going right. You're not losing yourself. You're losing the costume. Carl Jung said that we cannot become what we need to be by remaining what we are. And for people in the process of energetic expansion, this truth is both liberation and devastation. Liberation because it names the feeling. Devastation because naming it means you can no longer pretend it isn't happening. Here's the part that will send chills through you. Jung observed that when someone's psyche is in the process of genuine transformation, the unconscious begins to communicate through what he called numinous experiences. Sudden moments of absolute clarity, dreams that feel more real than waking life. Encounters with strangers who say exactly what your inner voice has been whispering. A book that falls open to the precise page you needed. These aren't coincidences. Jung called them synchronicities, the external world rearranging itself to mirror an internal shift already in motion. When your energy outgrows your old life, the universe doesn't whisper, it orchestrates. And the question Jung spent his entire career asking was this: will you be brave enough to follow it? Because here's the brutal truth that the personal development industry will never sell you. Expansion is not comfortable. The people who love your old self will not always celebrate your new one. Some of them will call your growth selfishness. Some will call your clarity coldness. Some will feel so threatened by your evolution that they will try to pull you back to a size that feels manageable to them. Jung called this the pull of the collective, the unconscious pressure from your social environment to remain predictable, consumable, familiar. And resisting it requires something most people spend their entire lives avoiding: the willingness to disappoint others in service of becoming yourself. But here's what makes this absolutely unstoppable once it begins. According to Carl Jung, the self, the deepest, most authentic core of who you are, is not passive. It pursues its own completion with what Jung described as an almost biological urgency. Once the process of individuation begins in earnest, it cannot be reversed. You can delay it. You can numb it. You can build elaborate distractions around it, but you cannot undo the knowing. Once you've tasted who you're becoming, the old life doesn't just feel small, it feels impossible. And this is where the transformation becomes what Jung called absolute. The people who push through this threshold, who honor the restlessness instead of sedating it, who follow the clarity instead of apologizing for it, they don't just change their circumstances. They change their relationship to existence itself. They stop asking for permission to take up space. They stop shrinking their vision to fit other people's comfort. They stop building their life around who they used to be and start architecting it around who they are relentlessly becoming. Jung called this the return to the self, and it is, without question, the most radical act a human being can undertake. Because the world knows how to handle someone who stays the same. It has categories for you, expectations of you, a comfortable story about you that requires nothing new, but someone in the full force of their own evolution. Someone who has stopped apologizing for their expansion, stopped explaining their energy, stopped performing smallness to make others comfortable. That, Carl Jung discovered, is someone the world doesn't quite know what to do with. And that precise disorientation you cause in rooms you've outgrown is the surest sign that you are exactly where your growth requires you to be. You are not too much. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are simply becoming. And becoming, Jung understood, is the most terrifying and magnificent thing a human being can do. The question was never whether you were ready. The question is whether you're willing to stop waiting for permission from a life that was built for someone you no longer are.